Hello everyone and welcome to question 65 of the Q&A series. Is it better to learn music by sight or sound or both? Which of the 5 senses are most handy when learning how to perform an instrument? I often use both sight and sound, though to improve each skill it can actually be valuable to challenge yourself to learn a song only using one method. Like I was saying in the one about deduction rather than instruction, trying to just learn a song by knowing how the melody goes, by picking a simple enough melody learning that can really improve your skill to be able to carry on doing that in the future. And you start small and then you get more advanced as you go along. And I'm not amazing at this, so don't think I'm like really good at this, but I can often hear songs and be able to just take out the melody and be able to play that on the piano. I find the notes and then I sort of understand the key, so then I don't make so many wrong notes in there. And these skills get better by concentrating on that skill on its own. But using both to learn a song can be often really good. I feel comfortable doing this because I learn music by reading sheet music. So sheet music to me is my comfort blanket. And that's okay. It's fine to have a comfort blanket. It's not everyone's cup of tea. You'll get some people going, oh, I don't read sheet music, I don't like sheet music, I think it's rubbish, it doesn't help. But that's because it doesn't help them. They never learnt that way, so it doesn't help them, of course. And they have no motivation to learn sheet music, so to them it's a bad thing. To me, I don't bother. I don't mind. I literally have a student who never learnt by reading sheet music, and his standard of playing is far better without sheet music. But he's willing to learn how to read sheet music, so he can learn more pieces by reading sheet music. But this is a slower process. He has to learn things and do it that way. But he's fine with that. He's okay. He's motivated and he's doing it. There's no problem in that. Literally no problem in any way. But yeah, having it as a comfort blanket is the visual for me that I like to have. And similar with chord sheets as well. Listening to a piece and hearing or watching lots of other people perform it gives me inspiration and general ideas for the end result that I'm going for. For some pieces I have to do this to determine the tempo of the piece, because sometimes you just get the word like bright or lively. Well, what tempo is that? I want to hear other people playing it so I can give myself a rough tempo. You'll hear lots of different variations of that, but you can sort of work out the best for you. There are some cases where there's no recordings or performances that are easily gettable out there, so I've had no hearing aids, I guess, if you like, and this can be the case with real specific arrangements of something like jazz arrangements. There's books out there, but there's no recordings out there. So in cases of this, or actually in individual ensemble parts as well that someone's arranged for me, you won't just hear those online, because people don't just film those online. You'll hear the whole piece, but that doesn't always help with practicing, because sometimes you just need to hear your part isolated. Particularly in choral music, I find, because singing's much harder because you need to learn the notes in a different sense to learning the notes on the instrument. But yes, so when this does occur, I transcribe my music into MuseScore, which is a music notation software that's free, that I enjoy using, and I produce a sound file of that sometimes in various different tempos, so I can practice it at a slower tempo originally than what I'm aiming to get to. And because it's a computer generated sound, it doesn't give me the expression I want to put into the piece, but it does give me the rhythms and the tempo to practice along to, and it speeds up my practice by having this, because I'm playing along to it and I notice my mistakes far quicker, and it means I can just play that bar or that section over and over again and practice it, and so it's a really helpful tool for me. I think for the 5 senses, again, sight and seeing, really helpful. I wouldn't say taste is very helpful, but it's good to eat whilst you're practicing, or before and after practicing. I wouldn't say there's much more to it, really. I guess, well, obviously the other obvious one is touch. I should have related that actually to the first one. Deduction. If you're deducting a melody, you're sort of touching, you're feeling your way around. And if you're blind, you're feeling your way around the instrument, perhaps try that. Not in a way to mock the blind, obviously, but sometimes closing your eyes and knowing if you know the music is a really good way of sort of testing yourself. Yeah, I'd give that a go, actually. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. There's a couple of things to think about there, as always. But again, everyone is different. Please do bear this in mind. This is the way I do it. So sight and sound is my way of doing it. Yeah. All right. Hope that helps. Cheers. Bye.